Alright guys, welcome to TNA Throwback, and it's pay-per-view time. As you can gather, I have changed the backgrounds, I have changed the logo. It's time for Hardcore Justice. But let's see what happened on the Go Home show first, because we can't really open an episode without recapping what happened on the last show. So, Sting and Ego came out and they stated that Jarrett's faction is thinning out. But Jarrett actually told them that they're facing two new members of his faction at the pay-per-view. Bashir and Williams came out and they jumped World Elite. The World Elite got outnumbered because they only got 3 people for now, and they retreated. Abyss and Gunner defeated Morgan and Tom Cole to become #1 contenders to the tag titles. The Pope cut a promo with Jordan and Creed, establishing the new congregation. Bashir was furious that Jarrett actually stole his faction by kicking him out officially. The congregation defeated Morrissey Machine Guns and Amazing Red. Bischoff told Jarrett he's facing both Bashir and Williams in a gauntlet handicap match tonight. Steiner cut a promo on Joe. Joe defeated Hernandez and sent a message to Steiner. AJ and Jay Leto got a no contest when Daniels attacked Leto. They double teamed him for a while and Flair before Aries running for the save. Aries proposed a tables match at the pay-per-view and they accepted. Angelina Love defeated Madison Rain but got assaulted by Tazemaker. Tazemaker stood tall with the title. After this, Ryder confirmed that this is gonna be his last chance to take the global title off Robbie E. Jeff Jarrett managed to defeat Williams and Bashir in the gauntlet match with the help of World Elite. We got the video recapping the World Title Tournament, Mr. Anderson joining commentary, and in the finals, Jeff Hardy defeated RVD when Kazarian attacked RVD, setting their X Division title match and setting up Mr. Anderson and Jeff Hardy at the pay-per-view. This was a quick recap, so let's move on to the pay-per-view. Let's see Hardcore Justice. Special can be anything, I don't really care. Let's say the team, the entire event. So the first match on the show is gonna be the X Division title match to make things more interesting. So I already picked a stipulation for the match. It's gonna be a Full Metal Mayhem, but for the purpose, of course, there's not a TLC match, so it's a ladder match in the game. And at Victory Road, Kazarian actually beat RVD by a fuck finish, so I guess you guys expect here for RVD to pick up the win, but actually I'm gonna have Kazarian win again, this time in a more decisive fashion. Because I have stated maybe 1 or 2 times that I want to establish Kazarian as a credible heel champion. So that means he has to go through some credible challengers. He can't really beat the likes of Amazing Red and Eric Young and etc. without having a serious contender and be taken seriously as an X Division champion. So this is a second win from Kazarian at the pay-per-view over RVD, and we're gonna see what will happen next. But Kazarian retained the X Division title, and he already has like 4 months of his reign. He became the X Division champion at Lockdown, so we are continuing with Kazarian as the champion. The next match is gonna be Robbie E against Zack Ryder for the global title in a grudge match. Robbie is just gonna retain by interference from Christy Hemme. She's gonna screw Zack Ryder again. I know, guys, that this is the second time I'm putting down Zack Ryder after he already lost a feud with Robbie E, but I see a lot more potential in Robbie E as something of a champion, and his pair with Christy Hemme as a heel. I don't really see anything in Zack Ryder for now. Maybe I will probably introduce him with somebody else and put him in a tag team or something, but Can't really have him as a global champion. He's just gonna be a mid-card for now. We can't really have everyone hold titles or be at a top spot. Then we will have the grudge match between Joe and Steiner, and this is gonna be the first babyface win of the night because Joe is gonna pick up the victory and win the feud. Of course, no Pete Williams since Pete Williams was taken out by Joe 2 weeks ago. Of course, this is a pretty standard ending of the feud. I brought Scott Steiner in only to put other guys over. As you remember, Scott already lost one feud to RVD. Now he was another to Joe. So he's kind of a high profit jobber. The next thing on the show is gonna be the Knockouts title match between Angelina Love and Brooke Tessmacher. Brooke Tessmacher is the new member of the Beautiful People, and this is not gonna be a new title win. This is gonna be Angelina Love retaining the title. This pay-per-view has a lot of clean finishes compared to the last one, but I don't really think that any title needs to change hands for at least this pay-per-view. We're gonna see what will happen following this pay-per-view. So, sorry, I was messing up. It's tables, yeah, it's tables match. Is the tables match that I have announced at the Go Home show. It's Austin Aries and Jay Leto against AJ Styles and Chris Daniels. And Styles and Daniels are gonna pick up the victory. Styles is gonna pin Jay Leto. I have told you guys that I'm planning on pairing up Styles and Daniels again, since I don't have plans for AJ or Daniels by themselves. AJ just got out of a feud with Jay Leto, and before that he was the world champion. I have plans for Jay Leto, I have plans for Austin Aries. This is just kind of a transition because those four guys were already involved in storylines between each other, so I decided to this is gonna be kind of the exit from the feud. I'm not gonna do any follow-ups. Styles and Daniels are gonna continue as a team. Aries is gonna probably go on singles path as also and Leto with Flair. I'm just really stumbling with my words, I don't know why. So the next match is gonna be for the World Tag Team titles between Team 3D and Abyss and Gunner, the World Elite pairing. This is not gonna be a title change, they're gonna retain. Let's say it's clean, but the Abyss and Gunner get revenge. Again, there's no point to change the title since Team 3D just won them, and they're just gonna retain here. Have plenty of teams to give a tag title shot. So this is the mystery match, the mystery tag team that they have, that is awaiting Sting and Kurt Angle, that Jeff Jarrett announced at the last Impact. So who is this mystery tag team? Of course, it's Beer Money. I think you guys could have figured this out because Beer Money, after they dropped the titles to Team 3D, they have disappeared from TV. I don't actually remember them even being in a segment after the Victory Roll pay-per-view. But the whole point of this was to take them off TV and kind of refresh their perception of their gimmicks and bring them back as the fully full-fledged new member. They were heroes beforehand, but they were the tag team champions, and they weren't really a huge part of the show. But this was my idea, to have them drop the tag team titles to Team 3D, so they can be free from the titles and they can join the World Elite group. So Beer Money are the new members of World Elite. They're gonna go over Sting and Angle here in a cheap way, I guess. But right now, World Elite will consist of Jeff Jarrett, Abyss, Gunner, and Beer Money. And the main event, of course, which is the World Heavyweight title match. Mr. Anderson taking on Jeff Hardy, who won the he won the World Title Tournament. Mr. Anderson is gonna win, but he's gonna win by a dusty finish. Roll to the back. Build up to a future match. Of course, this is not a feud I just want to do one match with. This is just the beginning. Anderson is gonna retain in a probably the typical second referee coming in. Jeff Hardy is gonna have the visible pin. Jeff Hardy is gonna win the title, I guess, but it's not gonna be official. It's gonna be overturned. You know, it's gonna be shenanigans. So Mr. Anderson is gonna retain here because I'll have them fight at No Surrender. So this was the idea here, is to set up a match for the next pay-per-view. Because at the end of the day, Jeff Hardy won a tournament, so it's obvious that I will give him more opportunities. Let's see how this turned out. So, Kazarian beating RVD, the X Division title has gained in image. 3 3/4 stars. 83%, this is a great rating. And of course, I have explained to you guys, this match will establish Kazarian as a serious contender, a serious X Division champion, and you're gonna see the direction I take on the next show after the pay-per-view, because this is kind of a show that closes a lot of feuds. Robbie E defeated Zack Ryder. This match actually, I guess, was bad, and the global title lost image, so this is another sign that I don't really have to go with Zack Ryder after all. Joe defeated Steiner. Angelina Love beating Brooke Tessmacher, and the title gained image. That's a great rating and a 3 1/4 star, almost a 4-star match between Aries, Leto, and Styles and Daniels. Team 3D and Abyss and Gunner actually put on a great match, 81%. 3-star match. And that was what I have actually expected. Beer Money beating Sting and Angle, 86%, and they both gained overness from this match, so this is great. This is a great way for them to get into World Elite. 85% for the main event. 81% for the whole show. I can tell you guys, as far as matches go, I guess this was a pretty mediocre pay-per-view. Actually, WWE was doing SummerSlam. They got 1.67 buy rate. I got 1.52 for Hardcore Justice, which is very funny actually. So this is close. SummerSlam got in by 17,000. My pay-per-view was 16,938 people. Actually, we are pretty close to WWE right now. Actually, I'm first. That's a shocker. Presumably, we just, we started national 83%, so we began the game in January. Now we are in August, and we are already ahead of WWE. And I haven't really, I haven't signed anyone from WWE. Like, I haven't stolen their talent or anything. 68% global. It's only my talent, you see. I will just show you guys some of the screens, since I never show these screens, but you know, here is the Mr. Anderson is top heel, Jeff Jarrett after him, AJ, Dinero and Storm, Flair is a top babyface, Sting, Angle, Joe. So this is pretty standard. As you can see, actually John Cena is coming to an end of his contract, but I'm not gonna pick him up. I don't see the point of. I don't really see any point of picking up WWE guys, since the whole point of this game is to rebook the TNA roster that was, in my opinion, one of the best rosters that you can have in 2010 and forward, you know. So I don't have any interest in stealing guys from WWE. I don't have interest in making a promotion which is gonna be really unrealistic. I want to keep it as TNA. I want to keep the guys here that are original to the brand and actually competed in TNA. I don't want to bring John Cena or Randy Orton or some bullshit. So the pay-per-view, this is a raw version, of course. I'm gonna right now edit it in the Hex program, but this was a pretty mediocre pay-per-view as far as matches go, but the rating was good, and I think it had a lot of storyline progression, with Beer Money joining World Elite, Anderson beating Hardy in a controversial fashion, and the other matches, they'll have nice follow-ups too. So if you know one thing about me, guys, I'm all about storyline progression. I don't really watch wrestling for the matches by themselves. I watch wrestling for the angles and for what will happen next. That's why I really like the Attitude Era and the TNA Impacts, because it had a continuation instead of what we see in the last few years in WWE, where they're just focused on the matches rather than the storylines and the characters and the gimmicks. And this is a mistake. Maybe there are guys who like wrestling by itself, but in my opinion, wrestling should be about being a TV show. It should be about characters. It should be about development of storylines. It should not be just about the matches, because if you have a match but you don't have a character and you don't have a nice babyface or nice heel, you don't have incentive, you don't have good storylines, nobody's gonna care about the matches. Nobody. Doesn't matter how good the match is. So I got a little bit carried away here. So let's close this episode. This was Hardcore Justice, and we're gonna see each other in the next episode, where it's gonna be the fallout. And we got 4 weeks until No Surrender. This is the pay-per-view program. No Surrender is on September 12th. And then we have Bound for Glory 10-10-10. So the road to Bound for Glory begins. 8 weeks of Impact and No Surrender pay-per-view. So bye for now.